I'm writing a paper on the sleeping patterns of teenage students for my class in psychology. First place I would go to is primarily Google because it's easy to use. Just wait for it to load up. First thing I would type, a broad statement, sleeping patterns of teenage students. You see you have all these lists that pops up. Normally I would choose the first link because that would probably be the most clicked link. And you see National Sleep Foundation sounds, well, it looks like it could be accurate information, have different types of facts and consequences of sleeping patterns. You have different pages. So first I would read this first paragraph right here. And if I like the information, I would open up a Word document and I'll jot down some notes. After seeing this, I wouldn't necessarily close out this page. I would just come up here and click New Tab, and once again I'd go back to Google. Now type in the same statement, sleeping patterns of teenage students. Now here we have a college link, UCLA. So I'll click that. Universities tend to have accurate information. Here we have another introduction paragraph with the risk of sleep, not getting enough sleep, the need for sleep. Here we have a more detailed description of sleeping patterns. Here we have a bunch of different links within this website to look at. Here's sleepiness. I'd click this to find out exactly how one gets sleepy or things like that. Just other information I could use in my essay. And once again, instead of closing out the tab, I would just click New Tab, go back to Google, and type in the same statement, sleeping patterns of teenage students. I'll type this in because I don't want to necessarily get off topic. I want to make sure I stay on topic. As I scroll down, I see many different links I can click. Right here we have Stanford University. Once again, we have another link to a college. It's important to have many different sources and links to compare information. You would want to find out if the information you're putting in your essay is correct and accurate. So that's important to have many different tabs of the same thing from different links. Once again, the same thing, back to Google. I do this many times to, again, have many different sources of the same information. Here we have a PowerPoint from the Sleep Foundation. After looking at this PowerPoint, I would scroll down, have a table of contents. This is good so I'd make research quicker. I could just look at, see which one I need to go to. We have who is most at risk for drowsy driving. Sleep smart. Just many different things. I would continue to scroll down. So this is talking about drivers, student drivers, who tend to not get enough sleep and try to drive a vehicle. This could also be some more information I could just put into my essay to make it more interesting for the reader. Now, after looking up certain patterns for sleeping, after looking up certain sleeping patterns for teenage students, I'd once again go back to Google. Now I'm choosing Google again because it's easy. It's easy to find information on Google with keywords and things like that. So I would look up the sleeping patterns, like the transition between high school and college for a student, and what happens to their sleeping schedule. So let's see, I would search, first I would search high school student sleeping patterns or habits. You can choose either one. And you see here we have the same link pops up, sleepfoundation.org. But as we scroll down, we see many different things, many different links. I'm going to go with most high school students are go with this link. I went with this link because, again, it's at the top of the page, so I would assume that it's the more, I wouldn't say it's the more accurate website to go to, but I would assume that it's more chosen by other people who have also searched the same subject as me. So as I get this, I want to compare the sleeping schedule between a high school student and a college student. So I'll again open up a new tab, go back to Google, and I will search the sleeping pattern for college students. And here we have a variety of things. We have a link from the health center, have a link from Brown University, Notre Dame College. There's just many different things here. And typically I would go for one that has been given to us from a university, mainly because, coming from a college, you would assume that the information is correct and accurate. So here we have college students are among the most sleep deprived people in the country. It just continues down the page as we scroll down, just endless information about the sleeping patterns. So now that I have all this information, I'll typically open up a Word document. I would put one half of the screen of my internet browser, and I'll take the Word document and put it on the other half of the screen. I'll do this because it makes it easier to go back and forth between your your notes, and you can just easily look over to the other half of the screen and see the information. So here I'll start off with the teenagers in sleep. I see facts and consequences, so I'll just jot down a few of these facts. Now I wouldn't want to jot down word for word, so I typically just briefly read over this, and if I see something that looks interesting, or if I see something that might seem like it's important information, I'll jot it down over here in Word. So right here the first fact says sleep is vital to your well-being. Well, that seems like something I can write as a topic, so I would jot that down. Then it just goes on and on. It says here teens need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep. That seems like a good fact to use, so once again I'll jot it down. And here it has a statistic. Using a statistic in your paper seems to make it more, let's say, makes it more accurate, I would say. Well, it wouldn't make your paper more accurate, but professors, they would typically like statistics to be in your paper, showing that you actually did research on your topic. So I would jot that down. Now that I've jotted down a few facts, I'll come down here to consequences from not getting enough sleep. Enter a few spaces. And now I would just take some of these notes of the consequences of not getting enough sleep. It says here, it limits your ability to learn, listen, concentrate, and solve problems. That seems like a really big factor of not getting enough sleep. So once again, I would write it down over here. Now here we have some information that's not really, you wouldn't typically put inside your essay, mainly because it's not information that one would think of like formal to write a paper on, to put inside your paper to turn into a professor of a university or a teacher in high school. It says make you more prone to pimples. Now a more how would you say, professional way to say that would be a lack of sleep can contribute to acne and other skin problems. So instead of saying make you more prone to pimples, I'll just jot down lack of sleep can contribute to acne and other skin problems.